Last spring, after Ava had confronted Isabel for leaving her out, Isabel had texted, "You're really intense. It's not fun for everyone else." Was she being too intense now? She tried to think about what the others would do in her place. Isabel would probably find Owen's enthusiasm for Athena cute. Evelyn would pick a different god, as if it was no big deal. Ava let her hand fall back down. "How about this?" Ms. Greenberg smiled at her, as if she'd found some fantastic solution. "You and Owen can both write about her. There's only 12 major gods and goddesses, so everyone's going to have to double up anyway. You two will be our Athenas." This didn't strike Ava as fair at all, especially when a few other girls, who clearly had also wanted to write about Athena, grumbled in disappointment. Ms. Greenberg had just let Owen shove ahead of all of them, but it seemed unwise to challenge a teacher, especially the first week of school. "Fine with me," Owen said, though no one had asked him. "Ava?" Ms. Greenberg said. Ava scanned the room. No one else looked upset. Olivia and Sophia, two of the girls who had wanted Athena, were whispering, probably about their second choices. Isabel was impatiently tapping her fingers on her desk, like this was taking forever and it was all Ava's fault. "Sure," Ava said, but deep down she was still mad. "Wonderful," Ms. Greenberg trilled. "Ava, I think your brother chose Athena too. I still remember his report. It was very creative." Ava forced another smile, as if she relished being compared for the umpteenth time to Jackson, boy genius, who'd won all the academic awards since kindergarten. Every teacher who'd had her brother expected her to get the same perfect grades, and then was disappointed when she didn't. She tried at least to be agreeable, which her mom said was just as important, but it was a lot harder in middle school, where nothing seemed fair. Library was Ava's last period of the day, and usually her favorite. At lunch, she still sat with Isabel and Evelyn. Being ignored by them was less painful than circling the cafeteria with her tray, or sitting by herself. At least in the library, she could hide out alone in the stacks, reading, and no one noticed. But today, her English class was supposed to find books for their god or goddess reports, and, to make matters worse, Ms. Sanchez, the librarian, explained that a lot of the good ones had already been checked out by earlier classes. Searching the digital catalog, Ava found a book about Athena, goddess of heroes, that was allegedly not checked out. Keeping a careful eye on Ms. Sanchez, who did not like running, she speed-walked to the religion and mythology section on the other side of the library. But just as she got there, she realized she had forgotten to close out the page with her search results. When she glanced back, Owen was standing right in front of it. Ava had barely scanned the shelves when she heard Ms. Sanchez barking at him to walk. She raced through the call numbers, 292.13TA, 292.13TE, until she saw Goddess of Heroes on the top shelf. But just as she reached up, a hand darted over hers and snatched the book from the shelf. "Hey!" Ava blurted, spinning around. "Give it back!" Owen stuck his free hand, palm up in the air. "What?" he said innocently. Ava's face burned. "You know what?" Her voice was loud, but quivery. "Whoa, Ava," he said. "It's just a library book. You can borrow it when I'm done." He sounded calm, reasonable. Ava knew if she spoke again, she wouldn't sound like him. Words would come out she couldn't control. She hated feeling this way, like she might explode into a million pieces in front of everyone. Other kids were looking at her, including Isabel and Evelyn. She needed to get control of herself, but it was too late for breath counting. She tried to imagine she was in the pool. Her mom had taught her to swim as soon as she could walk. Last spring, after Evelyn had stopped returning her texts and Isabel had a sleepover party without her, swim practice with her rec team was the only activity that made her